Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Megan.
And I'm Sierra, and for today's video, we thought it would be fun to show you guys how we've updated our Instagram editing because we actually recently changed that.
Yeah, I know. I've been actually seeing some comments when I post my Instagram pictures and you guys want to know how we edit. And we have a video, we have a couple that we posted where it shows how we edited in the past, but I think we started changing how we edited
Back in
around
May.
March or
It was May, yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
So hopefully this will help you guys out that have been curious. And before we get started with that, we want to do thanks Skillshare for sponsoring today's video.
So if you don't know what Skillshare is an online learning community with tons of classes.
They offer membership with meaning and empower you to accomplish real growth.
The lessons that you'll learn in these classes help you stay inspired and express yourself.
Some of the categories that we think that you guys might be interested in checking out include photography, lifestyle, and graphic design.
So the class that we took was Lifestyle Photography, Capturing Inspiring Visual Stories by Marta Marie Forsberg.
So this class was a Skillshare original, and some of the noteworthy takeaways that I got from the class were she really incorporated how you can utilize your iPhone still in these like professional settings to still have a good camera with you at all times and how you can use it better.
Skillshare has no ads and they're always adding new classes.
And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription.
The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership.
Thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this part of the video. Now let's get into how we edit our Instagram pictures.
So before we get started, if you want to follow our Instagrams, they're going to be showing up on the side here. They're always linked down below. Mine is at Sierra_Jo.
Mine's at Megan_Marie32. First, we want to talk about kind of just like overall, what do we do? What are we using to edit? Stuff like that. So we use Lightroom. That has not changed. That's been the same. However, in our last video, we used a different set of presets. Well, it's just one preset. And now things have changed.
So MyLifeAsEva, she's a YouTuber. She released her own preset pack. I'm pretty sure it was a while ago at this point, and she has a couple different preset packs. And we decided, like, normally I'm someone who has been like, I'm not gonna spend money on presets.
We kept saying that. We're like, we're never gonna buy presets. But she made a steal.
Yeah, so we bought a $10 pack of presets. We bought the Essentials pack, and you got 17 different presets for $10, which in my book, that was such a good price compared to what I've seen some presets being sold at. Like, some people set like their presets at a very high price for like 4 presets. So I figured less than $1 per preset was a totally fair price.
Okay, so if you're new to how Lightroom works and how presets work, basically you're going to download the presets from Ava's website, or honestly like whatever preset you want to use.
I think it sends you an email and then it gives you a link to download from that email.
So then once you download that, you basically need to get the files that you've downloaded, which are DNG files, onto your phone. And then usually if you look at them in your photos, if that's where you're saving them, they're going to be like not pictures, like you can't see them, and that's good, that's fine. And then you need to upload those into your Lightroom app, just as you normally would.
What happens is you're saving these files that are a picture with all of the settings on it, and then in Lightroom it says, okay, these are settings as pictures, so you can copy those settings to paste on your other pictures. You don't want to just download like the picture that she has with the edit on, because then when you put it in Lightroom, it's not going to know what the edits were. It will just be a picture.
Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how you can save stuff as a new preset, because what I used to do all the time was like I would literally scroll to like the DNG like photo that has all the preset savings on it. But what you can do is you can just save it so you can actually like have it already there. So these pictures that all are like the same picture from Ava are all like the original things that I downloaded from her to use as presets. So if I go to one, then I can also show you like if you're holding down and not like that shows you like this is an edited image.
Yeah.
That's all the settings that is on it. So if you hit the 3 dots in the corner and then go to create preset, then you just name it whatever you want, and that's how you go about doing that. So then if you're on a picture, you can scroll on the side and then hit presets, and this is where I have a bunch of mine saved. And we mostly have been using the MyLifeAsEva ones.
Another thing to remember if you're new to the preset game is that when you put a preset on a picture, like do not be alarmed, because you're gonna put it on and probably be like, that doesn't look good.
And if you're honestly like, editing with Lightroom is not going to work for you if you don't want to work with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it can be challenging. Some presets work better than others. Some pictures are more suited for certain presets than others.
A lot of times you can't use the same preset for every picture. And that's one of the things that I liked about downloading this pack, is that she has a bunch of different presets. And like I have my favorites, but there's some that work better in different circumstances. Like if you're outside versus inside, like if the lighting's different, you have to keep that in mind, because you're not gonna be able to just like slap a preset on, make X, Y, and Z adjustments and like it works for your picture. I think that it's important to keep in mind that your pictures on your feed are sisters and not twins. So now we're going to get into the fun stuff. I'm going to show you how we edit pictures. And by we, I mean Megan's going to show you because I think she's better at doing it anyways. And half the time
to see her like pre-edit her Instagram pictures just for her to be like, okay, so feel free to make any changes to these. And then
I just think Megan's better at it than I am. So
thank you.
If anything, I'm just like, my feed is just like trying to like get to what Megan's is.
Emulate mine.
And so that's why Megan's going to show you.
My goal for my feed, by the way, is like, I mean, you can see it when you saw it on the side, but like I have kind of like gone back to just wanting like bright pictures. I don't want them to be like overwhelming. I want them to still be like with, you know, what they are.
We don't have
I like bright stuff, and so I like to capitalize on, you know, that part of my photos, and I don't like to mute stuff down too much. So that's just my personal preference.
And I think that when you go to our Instagram, like my goal at least isn't to be like, oh my god, like theme. My goal is just like to have everything like look nice on its own. And I think these filters do a good job of like working with every picture.
So I'm going to show you guys what just by clicking through these filters do, or the presets do on their own. And if you're like, those are disgusting, that's okay. Like honestly, you're not going to always like,
I see and I'm like, I don't know how.
Yeah, I've never used some of these because I don't know. So I'm only going to go through like that one.
I don't know
this
what
one,
I would do.
No. I sometimes like the Ava 5 if you take the shadows down.
That's
like
5 on mine too. So I don't know how to
okay, like for example, this one you're kind of like, ugh, kind of rough, but like not the worst one. But then if you go over to the light category and you see shadows is up all the way, if you take that down, like that already makes like the preset so much better. And then you can like resave the preset if that's something you're doing every single time. You could just make it already like that. But so yeah, Ava 5 is like fine, but just you have to change that first. Ava 6, pretty dark. I like Ava 7 sometimes. That one I've worked with. Ava 8 is like red. Ava 9 I like. Sometimes it has like a purpley tint, so you could like adjust that on like the temperature situation. So if you go to color, sometimes I think it's just a little purple, so you could always like drag it over to be green. Or what you can do on some of these too is this dropper, which Sierra didn't know about this for the longest time.
No, so you don't know it either.
The eyedropper can be used for white balancing, and so if you're dropping it like our car is white, I'll try and like drag it around to a spot where I feel like it does a good job. And then maybe I'll go in and like manually like try and adjust it from there. But it's like if you're literally like lost on a picture, you're like, what's the color supposed to be? Then that is helpful. Like I think that looks pretty well color balanced. And so again, if you're like doing before and after, then that's what that looks like. So here's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which is like 14. I'm like, I don't know what I would do with that. 15, 16. I'm just not like a black and white person. And then 17 is like a super bright, like saturated look. But usually the ones I give like a chance to is going to be 5 sometimes, 7 sometimes, 9. Yeah, I feel like those are the ones I usually use most of the time. So I just added the Ava 9 filter because that's what I feel like I use the most. So I feel like that's what would be most helpful to show you guys. But then what I might do on this, I always am like, you have to always like hit the original and like go back and forth because like you don't want to get
your roots
overwhelmed.
Because I think we've all been in a position where we've been editing a picture for so long and you haven't like checked back to see what the original was, and then you're like, oh my god, I've gone a little bit overboard.
So I think I want to try white balancing it first, and then since that's still like, that makes it way too orange, I'm going to take it back down, and then also that's fine I think, so that's okay for me. And then sometimes I will also go look at, so the difference between vibrance and saturation, to the best of my knowledge, is vibrance is a way to take the saturation up without literally like making your skin super orange. So I like using vibrance. I think it's helpful and it helps pull in some color. So I might take that up a little bit versus saturation, like it's gonna do everything in the picture. So if you're like me and you didn't know what the difference was, or sometimes what I'll do is like if I want things to be brighter but then my skin is getting too orange, like take the saturation down a little bit. And so just mess with those a little bit.
Or you could individually mess with like the orange saturation.
That's another really good unique thing about Lightroom. I know Visco has it, but you have to pay for Visco Premium or whatever it's called to use this setting. So if you're on the color tab and you go to mix, this is where you have all sorts of control. This is where you should really just take control of whatever you want to do to the picture. All the colors on the top are going to be you individually editing those colors. Some textures it works better than others, and sometimes, like especially for orange, like that's going to be the color that's usually most associated with like your skin tone. So you can only mess with it so much. But for this, like blue, for example, you can see like the sky is blue, my windshield is blue, and my denim shorts are blue. The luminance is what's going to control like how much light there is. So if you take it up to the right, it's going to make things brighter. If you take it down, it's going to make it darker. And then you can always tint the hue at the top, so that'll like do the neighboring shades next to blue, so that's purple and teal. And it's always kind of nice. I think blues usually look better when they're a little bit more on the teal side. And then saturation is going to do saturation. So you can mess with all of those through all of these. Yellow is also one that is closely associated with skin. So if you're having some trouble with the oranges, maybe also try out some of the yellows. Also, like if your teeth are like yellower than the lumens, you can turn that up, but then you're just like, you still have to be careful of like, what is that doing to everything else?
Yeah, if there's other yellows in the picture, like that's gonna go up or down too, not just your teeth. So.
Unless you pay for premium and you can do selective stuff, but I do not do that. So if you take this up and down, you can see what that's doing.
Yeah, sometimes I like to just like do like sliding scale motion and be like, where do I think it looks best? Like, and then I'm like, here.
Yeah, right here. For this one, if I was trying to like make the sky any better, like I honestly just go through and try and like mess with stuff. Like I see over here, there's like oranges and yellows over there. So I'm on the orange thing. I might see, obviously this is gonna impact my skin, so I'm just seeing what I could get away with or not. You could try going to red, but I don't know if the reds will really, this impacts my skin tone, as you can see. Look at now, my shirt's a different color. So you could really go crazy if you wanted to. I feel like I'm happy with how this looks, honestly. So I didn't do a whole lot, but that is what I would do for this picture, for example.
So another thing that we forgot to mention when Megan was editing her picture is that we like to crop our pictures to like the, is it 5x4 or 4x5?
4x5, I think. You get whatever we're saying.
So that's like the Instagram ratio, and so just to ensure that like whatever you're editing is going to be what's posted, it's just easier to do that way. So now we're going to have me try my hand at editing, and then Megan will do what she does normally, and she'll do her touch-up work.
Be just like real life.
So I'm going to be editing this picture from when we did a little parking garage photo shoot with Maggie, and this is as it, like, this is before, and
that was after. As it sits in her Lightroom library. That's what she had done.
So this is what I will try and get it back to, essentially. But I want you to notice that like the garage in the before picture is like really green-yellow looking.
And that is really good for like being tackled in Lightroom.
So like you can just tell like it goes from like green-yellow to more of a gray purple, which I think looks better. Alright, so we have a naked picture now, and I'm going to do my best to edit it. So I pretty much just go straight for Ava 10 right now. And then,
which was my Ava 9, but
yeah, so we don't have to figure that out. And then you can see with this filter on, it's still like really, I would say if anything it's worse with like the yellow green stuff because it kind of made it more noticeable. So then I'm gonna go to color, mix, and then between the yellow and green, I'm gonna have to finagle with this. I think that I would take hue down, saturation down. I don't really care that much about the lumens because it's not really changing the color, so it's just if you want like a lighter or darker garage. So leave it kind of there. And then I'm gonna see, looks like the green's a little bit, and like I don't really have any other green in the picture except for like back by the plant, so I don't think it's that noticeable. And then I'm looking at it before and after, and like you could just like, the color like is just different. And like I really haven't changed that much for like me and Maggie because I haven't been messing with any colors that are on us. And I would probably leave it like this because like if anything I can maybe change the blue of my pants, but I don't know, like I would maybe like make it lighter a little bit. I don't really change like the blue like hue that much either. So, and then like I think our skin looks good, lighting looks good there. I think saturation's fine. Like I can see what it looks like if it's a little more vibrant. Like maybe no, that's at 0 now, so I would just leave it. So this is how I would leave it, and then I don't see anything. Hand it off to Megan. Again, this is just how I see it, but I feel like I almost get like, I can't tell, am I getting like a green tint? I may be making that up. Like something about the skin tones I want to try and adjust a little bit. Let's see. Maybe make it a little bit more purple. And then here's what I'm gonna do about Sierra's shirt. If you see whites that are more blue and you're like, why is this blue? Go to the blue color and lift the lumens up, and you see, obviously not too much because that's gonna start making her jeans crazy, but you see how it's like making her shirt look more like it's supposed to. So that's something that I like to do.
Yeah, I think that I would leave it at that.
Alright, so I didn't do too bad.
Alright, just for fun, we kind of wanted to go through and show you guys some photos that we think work really well. It's like a one-click type of situation. So this was for like the Ava 9 on my phone, Ava 10 on Sierra's phone. If there's like water, blue skies in the background, if you're on a beach, this isn't me on a beach, so clearly it works otherwise, but there's the ocean in the background. But again, if I go to the presets and I go to Ava 9, like that's pretty much a one-click edit. Like I would maybe take the saturation down just like a little bit, but like it just is like that and it looks great, I think.
So I just kind of want to go through, like I imported a bunch of Bahamas pictures from our trip that we did a few years ago, just to like
this
see
was after
how these
we
looked.
edited them, or after we got the presets we wanted to see.
Yeah, I like put a bunch of pictures in Lightroom and I was like, okay, I just want to play around with these filters to like see what they look like. So I can just like go through, like these are pictures that I've like already posted, but I just changed the filter, and so I don't actually like how that one is edited, but whatever. I just think like with the water, like it makes the water look so good. This is just like random people that I was on this trip with.
It just looks so good.
When we get into our Colorado stuff, like this is like literally an airport picture. I was like, this looks kind of good.
Yeah.
It's like that's the before, after. Beach picture, before, after. So
some good stuff.
yeah.
I hardly use these apps, but I think that they're still worth mentioning if you want to mess around with them. I have Snapseed. That app may cost money, I'm not sure, but it has one feature on it that I can show you. Okay, I'm gonna try using this picture because I think it would be a good candidate. Normally I wouldn't have a reason for this particular picture to be like increased, but sometimes like I've had situations before where I'm like, this would be useful. So if I go to tools and I go to expand, it works better on some pictures than others, but you can start, look at that, I just made the picture larger. I'm adding in stuff to the side because again, the sides on this are like pretty okay to do that on, so it doesn't really look super noticeable. So yeah, that is one app that I use, and then you could save it and look it, I just increased the size of my picture. Next one I use, this one also costs like a couple bucks. It's called Retouch. I'm honestly not going to go through it because it's pretty self-explanatory and there's other videos on it, but it can be useful if you want to like take something out of a picture. But again, like it has to be, the more simple it is, the better it works, and if it's too complex, then good luck.
If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you give a thumbs up, and also if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe by clicking the red button down below.
Make sure you leave comments down below for what we should do for future videos besides vlogs. Obviously we like making vlogs, and also announcement time. If you were wondering if we're doing Vlogmas on our channel this year, Sierra and I are offering a compromise to you guys. We are not going to be uploading videos every single day because that would be just a lot, and honestly like it starts to get not super enjoyable like the longer Vlogmas goes on.
And also like it got hard enough last year trying to record videos that were longer than 5 minutes, and it would be even harder this year.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we record weekly vlogs every week through, like as long as Vlogmas goes on through, and so that way you still get to see what we're doing every day, but it's just still going to be like weekly videos.
Also, if you guys are unaware, we do have a podcast called According To. I don't know how you would know that yet because we mention it at the end of every video, but you can check it out.
And we'll see you guys in our next video.
Bye!